Hello, and happy Friday, guys. Thank you all for joining. My name is Mac, and today I have Elwa with me, whom all of you know by now. It's great to be back. We are taking a quick break from a busy moving day, actually. We're in the middle of moving our offices, so this is a very welcome excuse to sit down for 30 minutes and not be moving. But it's great to see everyone. A lot of familiar names in the chats. Hope everyone's been doing well, and you've been doing a lot of scooting in the last 7 days since we last spoke. Elwa, how are you?
Great, tired. I'm great.
Tired? Yeah. What you're not seeing is just the beads of sweat that are, going down our backs from running around all day. But we've got a pretty packed agenda for you today. So let's kick it off with a couple of announcements. The first one is if there is anyone watching that is in the market for a scooter, we wanted to give you a quick heads up that our Father's Day sale is on now. So we know who our customers are. A lot of you are dads. And this weekend, you get to take advantage of some sweet sales. Looking at $500 off in the US, $800 off in Canada on scooters. Plus, if you get 2 accessories or more, you automatically get 20% off. The sale runs until Sunday for the US and until Monday for Canada. And we also have financing options at checkout to make it even easier. So it's really the perfect time to get yourself or your dad a new ride and maybe even some cool gear to go with your new scooter. So don't miss it out. Don't miss out on it. And make sure to check out our website for more details.
Or to have a kid.
Exactly. Riding in groups is always more fun than riding alone. Keep that in mind. Moving on. So many of you may be aware that we've had a couple of surprises with the Phantom in the recent weeks. So what I'm referencing here is the photo that shows the old tire compared to the new tire. And we wanted to address what happened. So Elwa, you want to take a stab at this one?
Yeah. So this new tire is a self-healing tire, as much requested by everyone since the first Phantom. And we were supposed to introduce it later, but we sold out so fast of the previous version that thanks to all of you, that this one was introduced sooner than expected. So that's good for all of you because you're getting a new upgrades. So we are looking at the self-healing tires, the new motor that is the same as before on the V4. So the stronger casing and better cooling. But now it's a solid rim that you can split because of the tubeless tire inside, and the V8 throttles. So you get all the latest and greatest. And finally, this I guess close the circle of making our whole lineup self-healing tubeless tire finally. So
5 years.
5 years
is what it took us. Yeah. But obviously, it's a massive pain point. Flat tires suck. Nobody wants to get one in the middle of your ride, especially if you're heading to work or to school. It's just an unnecessary headache. Hopefully this gives you a bit of peace of mind. So the new self-healing tires and the new V8 throttles are available in Canada right now. That's the Phantom that you're buying today. Is the Phantom that comes with those 2 upgrades in addition to the other upgrades I mentioned. It's $100 more to cover the increase in our cost. And in the US, you can expect that version of the Phantom to become available around the end of July. So available in Canada as of today, available in the US as of end of July. Keep that in mind. The next announcement we have is a little bit more local, and it's regarding our Montreal Servicing Center. So for anyone from Montreal or Ottawa that maybe has had the chance to visit our Montreal Servicing Center, you should have received an email stating that we are actually closing down that location. So it's very emotional for us. It's the first lease we ever signed as Apollo when we decided we were ready for more space. It's a warehouse space that we worked out of for a good a little bit less than a year or something. So it was our first office. It was for our first content studio. It was our first warehouse, and then it became our first repair center. But it became clear that after 5 years of running Apollo, it just really isn't the right fit for us anymore. We've outgrown the space, so we're getting ready to prepare for the next chapter for us here in Montreal. But in the meantime, for any folks who need servicing, Keep in mind that the center will be open until June 30th. If you want to get an appointment in before then, you can just use our servicing locator on the website, get your appointment in, to get that last servicing or repair appointment that you need. And anything after June 30th will be handled by our servicing partner called Repair and Run. Repair and Run is located on St. Denis Street, and they're awesome. We really, really love working with them. So definitely make sure that you note down their address for any future servicing needs. Anything to add?
I think did we also signed Easy Wheel or the other guys?
Did we?
I think so.
Okay. So potentially another option for anyone based out of Montreal. Stay tuned. Again, the best place to see what is the latest list of available servicing locations is the website under Service Locator. Cool. And then I think the last point here was a few questions about our Apollo Lock and Connect Plus module. So starting with the Apollo Lock, Elwad, do you want to just take us a step back? What happened and what are we doing about it?
Yeah, sure. So the Apollo Lock, obviously the first lock we do. And this year we decided to go a lot more custom in our accessories. We did our due diligence, 5 prototype. We went to China, visited the actual production and how we test it, which it's all, we made videos about it. Not posted yet. No?
Yeah.
So we tried. We tried really hard. And everything was fine, got delivered, and there was some problem originally about the pin not being reset to 000. Honestly, this is because at the factory we tested each one of them, and one of the employee was testing the feature of changing the pin, and they were not putting it back all the time to 000. So that was leading to the customer receiving the lock and not being able to change the combination. So this is
QC oversight.
QC oversight. It's pretty stupid, honestly. Easy to fix though. And the other problem that we've seen is that there is a way to force the lock open, and this is a structural issue, and it's a very precise thing that you need to do to be able to open it, which we didn't test. We tested everything about cutting, again, forcing the lock and everything was fine, but doing 2 things at the same time to lead at this, and we didn't think about it. So this is what happened. So we realized it. We addressed it with the supplier. We are going to China next week, me and Match, to go see that supplier and many other things. And we're going to see the new lock. We're going to redo the production. And we sent a form by email that most of you got that gives you the choice to either wait for the new lock with those improvements, get the e-took lock, the older one we had, the folding lock, correct? Or to just get a reimbursement. So you have those 3 choices available for you. I know it's annoying. You've been waiting a long time for the lock, and now you get it, and it's like this. But at least I feel like we're doing the right thing by giving you this choice, and you're gonna have a solid lock at the end. So that's what happened with it.
Yeah, it's definitely not for lack of trying. Again, I was been to that factory so many times, and we backtracked on a few prototypes because they weren't solid enough or reliable enough. The retraction mechanism wasn't there. It really maybe deserves almost an R&D video just showing how long the development process was and how incredibly frustrating it is that there is that one extra thing that we would have never thought to do, the twisting. And I guess maybe we shouldn't reveal exactly how you unlock the lock, but there's one very specific gesture you can basically do to unlock the cable without using the unlock button. So yeah, really, really annoying. We definitely do apologize on behalf of Apollo to anyone who purchased the lock. And like Elwad said, we're going to look out for you. If you need a lock, immediately get the e-took folding lock. It's proven, it's tested, it's ultra reliable. You can write happily ever after with that lock. But if you don't have that immediate need for a new lock, and you either prefer a refund or to wait for the new one, of course, we'll take care of you there too.
And the other thing is the Connect Plus module, so the IoT antenna. As you know, we divide all our spare parts into sub-assemblies to make it easier for us to order, easier for the factory to produce and plan, and easier for you, the customer, to have one piece to assemble. And one of those assemblies is the whole IoT antenna. We made it super easy to install, right? You just remove the grip tape, put it in, connect it, that's it, and fill out the form in the app. And we realized that the little screws that secure it to the deck were not shipped with it. Honestly, not a deal breaker because you have the grip tape going over it and it's pretty tight in there, so it should be fine. But ideally, there is screws to secure the antenna to the deck under the grip tape. So this is why we put it on hold, because we need to add the screws to all those kits.
Cool. Thank you, Eloi. So we're going to move on to the Q&A now. So if you've been sitting on any burning questions all week, definitely now is the time to drop them in the chat, and we're going to power through everything we can. So let's start off with the top from Czechsologist. Hello, the VMAX V2 Extreme, the new one, is impressive with 1600 watt peak, but still lacks suspension as it is designed for smoother European roads, and its throttle angle is still parallel to the ground. I suppose this is, therefore, the Apollo Go is much more ergonomic and designed for rougher American and Canadian roads with its dual suspension, which is why Mike Mitchell from Rider Guide crushed his VMAX VX2 Pro going fast. I suppose that's more of a comment than a question. I don't think, are you familiar with that scooter, VX2 Pro? Okay, I don't think I am.
It's an interesting scooter, but again, for us, it's pretty clear that we want at least one suspension in all our models, at least with that power. But yeah, like we said before, VMAX, I mean, a pretty nice brand, you know, like. But yeah, for this, it's like having the old Explorer with no suspension. We have the dual suspension. I can't imagine. So, not much more to say on that.
Yeah, we met the guys that run VMAX at one of the conferences last year. And honestly, yeah, we don't want to badmouth anyone on this show, but let's just say that there is very little Swiss engineering going on at VMAX. We'll leave it at that. Okay, any word on timelines for V8 throttles in the Phantom V3 V4 upgraded Ghosts? As in upgraded kits, do you mean? Martin, maybe you can confirm what you meant by that. It's a little unclear.
For the V8 throttles, we have them in stock, but we will most likely be shipping them to.
Yeah, exactly.
So we planned stock for people to upgrade it, but we decided to ship it to people that were like in between two batches of a Phantom that might have received the Phantom with the old one. So to get new parts, it's going to take a bit more time. But yeah, at least if you had a Phantom and you were expecting them, you should receive them soon by now.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Okay, here we go. From Lawrence. Why does Apollo Pro manual recommend to charge fully after every ride? General best lithium-ion charging practice is to aim for a charge range of 40 to 80% and avoid frequent full charges.
Yeah, that's right. We prefer people to charge it after they ride than leave it dead. It's going to be a lot more damaging to the battery to just leave it empty. And since you can't really see well on the charger, well, you can't see at all what percentage of charge. We just say charge it fully. But yeah, indeed, if you can measure the voltage of your scooter, or you really care about that, 80% is the charge to aim at to have a long-lasting battery.
Yeah, and I think you know, there's a lot of these sort of what would you call them, like
Tips?
tips, yeah, exactly, for charging. But I think what a lot of people don't really think about is what kind of cells you're talking about in this question too. And I think this next point here, you know, avoid fast charging, but the Pro comes with a fast charger. Well, that's because the Pro is actually using high quality enough cells to sustain high capacity charging over a long period of time, right? I mean, you can explain that.
And it's not like, you know, it's fast charging in the scooter market, right? But honestly, it's not fast charging. Usually you can push the same amount of charge as the capacity of the battery when you have good batteries like we do. So if you have a 30 amp battery, you could push 30 amp like a charger. This is fast charging, you know. In the electric skateboard, you see this a lot more often. So 4.5, sure, compared to like the rest of the scooter, it's fast, but it's still slow and it won't damage it. That being said, of course, if you charge it to 0.1 amp, it's better than the 4.5, but yeah, maybe you're gonna gain, I don't know, 2% charge cycle at the end of the lifespan.
And I think that the irony is that everyone's so concerned about charging practices, but how many battery failures have you seen because someone's exhausted the charge cycle count? I've never seen one.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, exactly, right? So like, everyone's very, very concerned about the longevity of their battery, which is the right thing to be concerned about. But the charge cycle count, you're very likely never going to reach the maximum. I think on our 21700 cells from EV, it's what, 700, you say? Yeah, right. Like even if you charge every single day, which I don't think most of us do, that's more than 2 years, of kind of constant charging, right? So again, we did the math before, and it works out on average to something like 5 years of actual battery usage, which is probably long. Like your battery will outlive your scooter basically at this point.
And when we say charge cycle, it's a complete charge cycle, right? From 0 to 100%. If you charge from 50 to 100, it's half a charge cycle.
From Brett, did the Apollo official community Facebook page get removed? Definitely not. So maybe Matt, we can drop the link to the Facebook community in the chat, just so Brett can find it again, if you don't mind. Okay, another question from Chuck. For the Apollo Go, is it capable of manual cruise control by holding down the throttle and left turn signal at the same time for a few seconds?
Yes, it is. So it's available in the app. You just unlock cruise control, then you're going to have automatic or manual. You put it in manual, and that's how you can achieve this function.
All right, from Borealis, the battery could take up to 10 amps. Yeah, exactly. So it's not really a fast charger. I can win on an 80 most of the time. Yeah, that's exactly what I just explained. All right, hey Ralph. I am one of the pre-order customers for the Apollo locks. Received your emails about the delay, but I would appreciate an explanation as to why the quality was not confirmed. Okay, I think we also went over that. Yeah, so the quality definitely was confirmed, but I think at this point we just need to release that video. It really explains the entire process much better than we could do here in the next 10 minutes. Okay, from Chuck, I feel like that is a crucial conscious feature. That's still on the cruise control. So Ralph, now we have a tentative date of August. Can you commit to get these locks tested, and to the customers who have already paid for them? Apollo, you need to do better, Ralph. Yeah, so Ralph, if you do have an urgent lock need right now, please let our team know, and you can choose between either a refund and looking for a third-party lock, or choosing the Apollo folding lock, which we've been selling for the last 4 years, and it's really bulletproof. That thing just never fails. So that would be my suggestion. If you do want to wait, of course, yes, you have our commitment that we will do everything that's in our power to make sure that we are shipping out the highest quality lock possible. As Elwan mentioned, we're going there in person in 4 days to meet with the factory and really review their proposed solutions for how to make sure it doesn't happen again. From Dave, has anyone other than me asked about a possible softer rubber suspension for the block, for the Pro's back suspension?
No, I heard it for the softer. No, I heard harder one, and I heard it for the Go as well from Martin that you have in the chat. Softer, no. Maybe Dave. Good thing to know is that you can make it softer by loosening the 6 screws under the swing, like the swing arm, the suspension arm. It's going to make it looser, but it's not really making it like it's not a function design, but you could do that and try again, but usually, it's the opposite. People want something stiffer, as it's really bouncy to go after a while. So you can try. You can write to me privately, Dave. I'll tell you how if you're curious.
Is there a reason we're not advertising that as an option?
Because it's not really an option. It's like when it becomes too soft, you can tighten it, but it's not made to be loosened.
I see. Okay. That's good to know. Excuse me. From Martin, did you put in connectors so the Phantom with self-healing tires can remove the motors? Also, did you change the brake hangers or change the casting of the motors to fit the old hangers?
So everything fits, right? Martin, it's because you had your Phantom was so old. So Martin, for FYI, he tested the self-healing tires a couple of months back, last winter for us, and he had to do a couple of modifications. But this Phantom is like the original, I think V1 pre-production. So they do fit actually, Martin, on the V3 and the V4. So that yes was changed, but no, we don't have easy plug connectors for the motors. We do not.
All right. Borealis, seems like you found a typo in our app. When you complete your ride and you get the amps, it says, well done. This strip brought you X amps as opposed to this trip. probably a good one to fix, eh?
No, I meant the strip.
The specific strip.
The strip. Okay. Matthew, can you send that to me on Slack, please? I remember.
It's urgent and important. Cool. Thanks, Borealis. From Chuck, the Light Lock X1 or even the Abus U-Lock right through the neck of the scooter. Okay, some recommendations. Okay, when will the Apollo Pro C be available?
So this week we have an incredible engineering intern, Sammy, his name, shout out. He's working on brackets that is going to make the same seat fit on all our models-ish. So that's what we're doing now. We want to do one seat that's going to fit everything rather than having a bunch of different seats. So we should have more updates soon, but it's in the work.
Beautiful. From Martin, I think we just answered that question too about motors and hangers. From Scott MG, is there a Facebook group for reporting Apollo beta app issues? Support gave me a test flight invite, but can't find how to report issues.
The best way to report issues when you're in beta, you take a screenshot of whatever you want to share, and your iPhone's going to recognize that you are in beta testing, and it's going to prompt a screen that you can. It's going to be the screenshot and the comment attached. And when you report this, I see it right away. So this is the best way to do it, or just straight up write to customer service, and they're sending all of them to us, the software team.
Cool. From Brett, this content isn't available. When this happens, it's usually because the owner only shared it with a small group of people, changed who can see it, or it's been deleted. Not sure what you're referencing here, Brett. Maybe you want to clarify another comment. We'll get back to you. All right, Scott, I do have a bug that stops me from editing my profile in the app. Good to know. So please do that via the suggestion of what I just shared. I think we just answered the loosening of the rear block question as well. From Brad, if we have the new Apollo and not having issue, are they going to replace it with the new one? Not sure what twisting motion you are talking about, but I'm afraid of issues down the road.
So this issue, so if you're able to set your pin, everything is working fine, and you're locked, you lock it, you pull on it, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just it was too hard to identify which one had this issue, so we said, fuck it, we're gonna redo the whole thing. So yes, you could, and you could still use it, and it's right out of the box that we see the issue. So it's not something that developed over time. It seems that being said, they were just delivered. So I don't know. I would say yes, but it's a chance that you're going to take, and yes, they're all going to be replaced, just depending on what you filled in the form that we sent you between the three choice we offered. So I do use the lock, and it works well for me, but yeah, it's a case by case.
All right, Greg, I don't use cruise control. Should I for the longevity of the throttle? Should I for the longevity of the throttle control while holding it down 100% wear out?
That's a good question. I would imagine that yes, when you play with the throttle, it's affecting the spring. So in theory, yes, but in practice, again, like we mentioned so many times, throttle, the benchmark is 100,000 cycle, right? We have a machine right here that we're trying to move that just press the throttles, and everyone in the industry, when they do actually test, it's 100,000. If it passed that, they put it on the market. Ours do 500,000, and they're still feeling brand new. So I think you're gonna the throttle gonna outlive the scooter, even if you spend your days pressing on them. So I wouldn't be too worried about that.
A lot of the critical components are tested with such a redundancy margin that you will never ever reach the limit. 500,000 is a long time, and even for the rig, it takes a long time to get to 500,000. I don't remember how many weeks it was, but it was
for a month straight we just press the throttle.
So I really don't think that there's any real impact of whether you decide to use cruise control or not. It's
better for the battery though, to be at a constant speed. So if you want your battery to last longer, you put it in cruise control and just go at the same speed. That's going to help for your range.
Cool. Question from Sacred Lover. I ordered the Pro June 10th in Canada, Ontario. Do you know when it'll arrive? Yes. So our container is expected to be at the warehouse as of the 27th of June, I believe, starting to ship out on the 28th. So it should be on your doorstep, say end of the month, maybe a few days after. Usually takes probably 4 to 5 days to get delivered once it's shipped out from Vancouver to Ontario. So you're looking at end of the month, early July. From Martin, what about U.S. tax on Chinese imports? Is it going to change your pricing? Yeah, it's this has been sort of what's been consuming us this whole week. The short answer is yes. Yes, it will absolutely affect our pricing, and unfortunately, for the consumer, it will affect the pricing on all electric scooters and e-bikes. There's definitely a bit of a lag effect where we have some inventory that's already been brought in, where we were exempt from paying duties, and that's the inventory we're working through right now. But once that inventory has cycled through, we will see an adjustment to our pricing. And I think my guess is that most of the competitors will make that adjustment around late July, early August. So keep an eye out for pricing changes. But yeah, unfortunately, it's bad news for everyone. All right, is it possible to put self-tap holes on the neck of future scooters to put a water bottle cage?
Definitely not on the neck of the scooter. It would be on the stem. We were selling this accessories before, and we probably still have it because we sold 3 in 5 years. There's accessories out there that you can utilize the same holes that are used to fix the headset to the stem to put this accessory if you really want one. We try to minimize the amount of holes in the stem for obvious reason. It's creating weakness.
Waterproofing.
And waterproofing, right? So probably not, but we are definitely keeping in mind how to make it easier for accessories to be mounted on the future scooters we're going to release versus what we have now, which is quite limiting.
Yeah, well said. On the Pro display, a headlight on-off indicator would be helpful. I often turn my headlight on instead of change the gear. A single dot at the top of the screen in between speed numbers would suffice.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have this, to have an indication when you're connected with Bluetooth, like we have on other models, and when cruise control is on too. That would be nice. I agree. If we will modify the display, I'm going to add a row just for these things. But yes, I agree with you. And there's a couple improvements like this we could do to the display, indeed.
Yeah, and those are great suggestions. Like very kind of user centric. Cool. Sacred Lover. Yep, no worries. Happy to help. Borealis Nights. I second headlight indicator. Sweet. Well, accessories like a bar extension that fits the Go. We have one, but does it fit the Go? No.
So yeah, we're gonna, if again with what we just mentioned, that we try to make things that's gonna fit more accessories. If we release that in future model, usually we do upgrade kits, so it would be available then.
Sweet. Cool, guys. I think it looks like we've worked through most of the questions here. So we have just a couple of, I suppose, industry updates that we thought were interesting enough to share. The first one is a video that went viral this week by a gentleman named Michael Reeves. He built a car out of four-line scooters. Really, really fun video. Matt, maybe you can drop the link to the video in the chat as well. I think everyone is going to appreciate that one. And I think there is one more point about an LA-based cycling company, which announced a new defense division. Interesting. So we're looking at a military type e-bike being made. What about a military grade e-scooter? You've got vehicle grade and the military grade.
Yeah, it's the Pro with the accessory headlight.
Yeah. Exactly, with a gun holster attached to it. It does look pretty interesting, Matt. Maybe you can share this one too if anyone's curious. Thank you. So I think that about wraps it up. Thank you everyone for joining. We really do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy Friday schedule. We know everyone has got a million things to do and you're choosing to spend your time with us. So it means a lot. We're going to be gone for the next couple of weeks with Eloi. As we mentioned, we're off to China. As always, if there's anything you want to see, any videos, any content, any questions, do let us know either by posting on the Facebook community, or if you are part of the insiders group, you know where to reach us. Let us know what you want to see, and we will do our best to keep you updated. In the meantime, don't forget the sales running. If you're looking for a scooter, we will have a great lineup ready for you next Friday. Maybe Chris can join again. I think he's had quite a few updates that he can share. Maybe Nadim can join as well. There's been a lot of repair center and kind of servicing updates that we've been working on. Maybe Maria can join actually to talk about the ecosystem.
Everybody's going to join.
Everybody's going to join, yeah. And then aside from that, thank you all, and we'll catch you next week.
You know, this week we finally reached 4-star on our mobile app in Canada, right? Huge milestones for us. Now we need to bring it up in the US. So for all of you, if you can take a minute and go rate our app 5-star or whatever you want on your phone, that would be greatly appreciated. Goes a long way.
Multiple times, please.
Multiple times, yes. And your family members, you know, everyone.
Exactly. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.